you are presented with fear, your brain does not know the difference between the actual danger or threat or an irrational fear. Your brain does not know the difference, bro. So you may think that there's something that, is dangerous, but it's not even actually dangerous. For example, if you have like a fear of like spiders, an irrational fear of spiders, and you see a spider in the room, you start panicking, you start sweating, you start getting like panic attacks and stuff. There's nothing innately, there's nothing really bad happening, right? It's just that you probably had a traumatizing experience with a spider, so you're panicking. But there's nothing bad happening. It's just a spider crawling on your floor. And your brain literally thinks you're about to die because there is a spider crawling on your floor. We're not about to die. I was about to say, you must feel the fear, you must do it anyway. It's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. But like some random guy on the internet is telling me to feel my fears and do it anyway. Kind of crazy man is he, bro? And I get it. Trust me, I get it. There's been times where I wanted to do something, but I was just so scared that I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Because again, I thought I was going to die if I did do it. I was overthinking. I literally thought if I did this action, that I was going to die. That's what I believed. That's what your brain thinks too. When you get traumatized by something, your brain can't really comprehend the difference. Like I said, it can't comprehend the difference. So you may think that what you're scared of is like actual danger, but it's not. For example, if you have social anxiety, right? And you're scared to approach a group of people. And you see a group of people and your friend says, hey, go approach them. Immediately, you're like, wait, what? I gotta approach them? He says, yeah, go approach them. So he starts pushing you towards the people to go approach them. As you're approaching them, your heart starts beating, your hand starts getting all shaky, you start sweating. Your brain goes into this fight or flight mode. It doesn't know what to do. You start stuttering, you start stammering, you start shaking. All because you had a negative experience with a crowd full of people. You had a traumatizing experience with a crowd full of people. And I hate to say it, bro, but it was just another Friday. Yeah, you were traumatized, but it's just another Friday, bro. You must learn to not let your traumas or certain experiences get to you. Yeah, things are gonna, traumatize you, but you have to learn to kind of let go of it. I'm not saying your trauma doesn't matter, because it does, but you have to learn to let go of it. It only matters if you give meaning to it. But if you heal from it and you let it go, you're gonna finally be able to relax, and things won't scare you as much. Now, I feel like the reason we're scared is because we haven't done it yet. Why do you think after you face a fear, you're kind of relieved? You're like, okay, it wasn't that bad. I did it. It's the same thing for every other fear, bro. If you do not face the fear will always be there. How will you get over the fear if you never faced it before? If you never experienced it before? Everybody's nervous for the first time, bro. Everybody's nervous. Everybody nervous on the first day of school. Why? Because they don't know what to expect. They go in, they know what to expect. They're not nervous no more. Everybody's nervous on the first date with a girl. They go in, they get that first date. They're not nervous no more. Everybody's nervous when they meet somebody for the first time. Well, guess what? They meet them. They realize that they're a cool person. They're not nervous no more. Everybody's nervous for the first time when they gotta ask out your crush for homecoming or something. You ask out your crush, you're not nervous no more. Why? Because you knew you knew what happened, you experienced it, you're not nervous no more. Fear comes from not knowing what to expect. Anxiety is just the unknown. Anxiety and anxiousness is just the unknown, bro. Because you don't know what's gonna happen if you do it. That's why you have to do it. You have to do it, bro. There's no other way. I need and trust me, bro. Trust me. I know that fear may, feel like it has a tight hold on you, but it only can have a tight hold on you if you let it. Because literally, your brain does not know the difference between an actual threat versus an irrational threat that you create in your mind. Your brain does not know the difference between you hanging from a cliff 300 feet in the air and you're about to slip versus you gotta ask out your crush at homecoming. Your brain doesn't know the difference between that, so you may think that it's scary, but in reality, obviously asking out your crush is way safer than hanging off a cliff 300 feet in the air, right? So that's what. How the freak are you still standing there, bro? So that's what we must realize about facing our fears, guys. That our brains can't tell the difference between actual fear and irrational fear. So if y'all want to get over that fear, you must face it head on, because when you face it, then you will stop being scared of it. I'm not saying that you should jump off a freaking cliff because you're scared of jumping off a cliff. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm saying face your irrational fears, the fears that you can act that are just imaginary and are holding you back. Fear of jumping off a cliff is holding you back, but it's holding you back in a good way, right? You don't want to fall off the cliff, so that's actually a good fear to have. A bad fear to have is an irrational one, and one that you shouldn't be scared of. You're never not going to be scared when you do it. You're always going to be scared. That's why you have to do it scared in order to gain that confidence. Do it scared in order to gain that confidence.